Hello, Brian here from CNC Plasma Info.com, bringing you a video today on water tables and SterlingCool plasma cutting fluid. So this is one of those hot topics among CNC plasma cutters. A lot of discussion about what to put in their water table. So this table here is our 5x10 Pro Series table from Westcott Plasma. And this is the third table we had. We're coming to you with about 20 years in the business now. And so we've tried a lot of different solutions out there on the market. And if you've seen my previous video, there was another company that I found I really liked. I really can't say that they have a bad product, but it's really expensive and really hard for a lot of people to get into and to put in their table. And this SterlingCool has come along. They're doing it better and for less. So you really can't beat that, and that's why we're switching over to SterlingCool. So one of the things that you got to think about with the plasma table and having a water table is rust is going to be one of the big things out there. You can have odors that can come up, and then also if you're cutting different materials, you don't want to have any staining, you don't want to have any problems with residue, and SterlingCool takes care of everything along those lines. It is a complete product. You're not going to have to add anything else to it. There's no other components. There's nothing else to do. It's super easy and user-friendly. And the price point on this is amazing. I hate to do pricing in the videos because it can change over time, but go to SterlingCool's website. We're going to put links below. Their pricing is amazing. They're in the US. They ship quick. We were able to get these in just a couple days, and that was during the great blizzard of Texas and the Midwest and all the shipping problems. And they still took and got it to us. The customer service is awesome. So let's dig a little bit deeper now into the product and why you'd want to take and use this product in your table. Okay, so like I said, there's so much information here. We're going to try to cover everything. And let me talk about my past a little bit. So I've been doing this for about 20 years, and this is my second water table. This table here is a 5x10 Pro Series from Westcott Plasma. Like I said, this is my second. I tried downdraft for my first one, went to water table, and back to water table again. I'm really a big fan of water table. There's another debate we can get into on water tables down the road, and you can check out the pros and cons on the CNC Plasma Info website. But for me, it's a water table. So with a water table, we've got some concerns. We've got rust that we want to take in control. We want to take and control the odors. We need to take and make sure that it's easy to clean for us down the road, and we need to find the perfect solution for that. So over the years, like I said, doing this about 20 years now, and I've tried, I think, every possible solution, every possible chemical out there, from the home brews and probably 5 or 6 different companies. I've tried their different products, and what I was using was a green product, and I chose for my table. I'm very concerned about the health aspects, so I wanted something that was going to be safe first and foremost. The reality is that you're going to be reaching into the water. You're going to be picking parts. You're going to be getting it on your skin. It's getting atomized. It's going to be in the air. No matter how much respiratory protection you take, it's going to be in the air. So you need to take and think about your safety and pick a product that's safe. So safety was number one for me. And then I wanted something that was going to take care of the rust, take care of all the problems out there. And when I tried all these different other products and seeing the things, it's a red flag when you get taken a shipment in. It has to be shipped hazmat. It's got more warning labels and stickers and placards on it than you know what to do with. And then there's things like a lot of people are using these homebrew solutions like borax and some of these other things. You guys really need to think about what you're doing with that. These products that are being substituted into the plasma realm were never intended for that. They you're exposing something to extremely high heat, UV, and then you're atomizing it and putting that into the air for you to breathe. It's really some bad stuff out there that people are using. So I really caution you to take a hard look at what you're using, look at the data sheets on the products, and make a better decision. So like I said, I wanted something that was safe and worked. So that led me to the product that I was using last. Now while the last product I was using was a green product, it was safe, it did work well. Some of the things, the drawback were super high cost. It just made it out of reach for a lot of people. It needed to be circulated and filtered to get the best benefit out of it. And there was a bunch of other kind of steps, and you had to take and do batch mixing to put it in, and trying to keep up with the correct pH levels and try to balance it out. It was a bit of work, and it was another kind of thing that made it tough is it wasn't from the US, and shipping was a bit of a nightmare on getting it. So I try to take and do everything in my business and get stuff from the US when possible, when it's feasible. So that's when I started looking for another better option out there. And I came across SterlingCool. So I wanted to take and make sure that I wasn't giving up or sacrificing anything by switching to a different product. And I'm happy to say that I'm giving up nothing. I'm only gaining by switching over here to the SterlingCool. So every benefit I had before, I've got. All the safety, all the data, the trials to back it up, the rust prevention, the easy cleaning, and then I'm gaining a lot of other extra things. Just a couple we'll touch on more later, but the engineers, when they were making this product, for those of you guys who cut aluminum, we know that hydrogen release is a problem. They engineered components in here to help it release the hydrogen better, and so it's more beneficial when you're cutting aluminum that we don't have it kind of retaining the hydrogen in there. It helps off-gas it faster and release it, so it's not a problem for us later. It's designed to take and be super user-friendly. You don't have to do as much work on keeping up with the ratios and the mixing. They've made it super simple. You don't have to batch mix this in small pails and filter it and take and have recirculation pumps and all those other things that I had to do before. It's just, pour and forget type style with this here. So let's get into some of the ins and outs now of this product and how we get started going with it. Okay, so like I said, this is a pretty much pour and forget solution. So this is a 20-to-1 mix ratio. So basically a lot of the ones out there are the same mix ratio. It comes in 5-gallon pails. It comes in 55-gallon drums, and then it comes in the big totes. I think they're like 200 and something gallon totes. So no matter what size table you got, they've got you covered. They're in the US and they ship out of Ohio. So you really fast turnaround in getting you the product. So 20-to-1 mix ratio. This table here is right about 300 gallons. So the 15 gallons of mix will be perfect for our 20-to-1 ratio to get us started. And all we have to do is to take and pour it in, and we can be having it pour in and fill with the water at the same time. So we're going to take and start that process and get this table filled up. Okay, before you just start dumping it in here, make sure you guys do some preparation to take and make sure your table is ready to go. So vacuum out, remove all the slag and part remnants, clean, rinse your table really good so that you give the product the best possible chance and a fresh start in your table. We just moved into this new building, so we were able to take in, we moved in, cleaned out our table, got everything prepped, and so it's clean and ready for us to put in our SterlingCool. So let's get going. Okay, we're all set and ready to go. I've got one of these cheap flow meters off of Amazon that I can track how much water I'm putting in. So I can just verify I get the correct mixing ratio. You want to give yourself the best start and make sure that you get the correct mix ratio right off the bat and start with the correct mix. So 20-to-1 is what you want to achieve. So make sure that you have one of these or you have some other method for calculating out. This one's got a water bed inside of it, so it's a little bit tougher to do the math. than if you just have a non-water bed. You can do some simple math and come up with your total volume. This one's a little bit tougher. So I'm going to put this meter on here and make sure we watch how many gallons we're putting in, so I make sure I get the correct mixing ratio. With this one, there's no batch mixing. I can just start adding my water and start adding my SterlingCool, so that there's nothing complicated about it, and just get things rolling. So here we go. So this is going to take a while. We got almost 300 gallons to take and fill up, so we'll kind of fast forward through this part and come back to you once we got it full. Okay, she's finally full. Take a little bit. 300 gallons is what we have into here, so a total of 3 pails gave me the perfect 20-to-1 mix ratio on it. So we are all ready to cut. Let's get into some of the more scientific aspects of it and some of the things that I noticed along the way in putting this in. So actually, let's first take a look at some photos of the full table here. You notice it's got a little bit of a blue tint to it. Kind of reminds me of, you know, you ever played miniature golf growing up and the ponds were all dyed blue? That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's a good look. The color will not last. The color is for looks only. It doesn't have anything to do with the properties of the cutting fluid, so don't be discouraged if while you're cutting, the dirt and everything that gets in there, you're not going to have that perfect blue color. It's not going to last, but it doesn't have anything to do with the effectiveness of this product. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you really wanted food grade dye, you can put in there and you can make it blue again, but it doesn't have anything to do with the properties of it. So a couple of things I noticed while putting this in here is the last product I used had a lot of problems with foam and really being really frothy every time I filled it, but this, I mean, this is just filled with 300 gallons and hose running into it, no bubbles on top, no froth in it. So I was really impressed with that. I spent a lot of time on the phone talking with Sean, one of the representatives, and asked him a ton of questions and kind of talking his ear off. Super patient with me, awesome guy. And one of the things that he talked about is the chemist designed this product to be able to be used in any kind of water. So as you know, in this country, we've got spots that are super hard water, soft water, every mix in between, different mineral concentrations, everything. Out here in Arizona, we have really hard water. And it mixed excellent with no froth. Like I said, the last product I used had a lot of froth in it, and I didn't see that at all with this product. It's perfectly mixed and blended in. It was super easy. I didn't have to do the batch mixing like before. Awesome, user-friendly to get it started. So let's, like I said, talk about some more of the scientific aspects of it. Okay, so no matter what you're cutting, this product is going to take in and work with it. So stainless steel, aluminum, mild steel, you're not going to have any problems. You're not going to get any of that white residue on it. You're not going to have any staining on the aluminum or stainless. It's going to be very user-friendly as far as that goes. The product we talked about with aluminum has the properties in it to take and off-gas the hydrogen, so you're going to have less problem with hydrogen buildup. Some of the other things the chemist built into here is going to help with dross and taking not releasing. It's also going to stick to the product a little bit, and you have a little bit of what they call carry off. So it's going to stay on your metal, and so that's going to help give you a little bit more working time, especially for mild steel. And if you take it off, you're in a high humidity area, you have to worry about that flash rust. Well, this product splashing on it during the cut is going to give those rust preventative properties and transfer over to the cut. Now, you think about that and you're like, well, I'm a little bit worried about paint or powder after. You don't have to worry about that. They've got that taken care of as well, so that when you take and bring this off the table, all you have to do is wipe it off, and you can head on over to your normal paint prep or your powder coat prep. You don't have to do anything special to take this product off. It's going to have a little bit of kind of like a soapy feel to it on the product, but wipes right off. It's not going to take and leave a hard residue or film or anything like that that's going to cause you problems down the road when you move into paint or powder. Being user-friendly, this is a bio-friendly product. It's biodegradable. It's going to be user-friendly as far as you can get it on your skin and things like that. You're not going to, want to take that too far, like we've seen some people in the media lately. But we want to take and know that you can take and get this on your hand, your skin. You're not going to have to, like some of those other products out there that will cause or caustic and things like that. You're not going to have to worry about that. As far as the product and disposal, as it sits right now, this is a biodegradable product. So when you receive it, you can pour this straight down the drain and it's not going to hurt anything. But one thing to consider is when we use it in our table, we get a lot of different things in it. It gets oils off the metals, it's got the metal fragments in it, dirt, other chemicals and contaminants that get in there through our processes, and that changes the makeup of this product. So when you're going to then drain your table and dispose of this product, you need to do it in a manner that meets the local guidelines in your area, and that's going to vary from state to state, city to city. But as it sits, when it comes new, it is a bio-friendly product, biodegradable, so you're not going to have the hazmat shipping or anything like that like you see with some of the other products. Next thing I'd like to talk about is the shelf life of it. So for a shelf life, you take in, they say about 2-ish years on the product sitting in the tote. So you could take and have some extra on hand and not have to worry about it going bad or anything like that. And then the change out of this product in your table, that's one thing that's really going to vary. So if you take it or cutting on the weekends, obviously your change out is going to be different than the person that is going to be cutting every day nonstop. Also, another thing that comes into play is the volume of the table. So if there's more volume to the liquid, it can take and absorb more, and you get a little bit more life out of it, and there's more place for the contaminants to go, versus if you're on a 4x4 table that's only 2 inches deep, there's not a lot of place for all the contaminants to settle and go, so you're more likely going to have to change it out sooner. But it's a very cost-effective product and price-friendly, so change-outs are not that big a deal. I would say, based on my usage and the predictions that we're looking at, I'm probably about 6, maybe 9 months to a year, depending on how much I use it. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes. But I mean, I'm anticipating very short end, 6 months, on the longer end, 1 year for change out on this, for a complete clean out. From time to time, this table has a water bladder, I can drop the water levels. I can clean out a lot of the materials inside of here. So the scrap and things like that, I can clean that out and vacuum it from time to time. Will give me a little bit more life than just leaving everything in for the whole of time period. Okay, next let's talk about the maintenance and keeping up with your ratio on this fluid in there. Now, the last product I used, we had a hard time of trying to figure out the proper balance and keeping it in that, and it was kind of hard to fine tune. So we had a refractometer and a pH meter that we used to take and measure it all the time. We did it on a weekly basis, see where we were at on that mix ratio. On products like this, the true only way to take and measure a concentration is going to be to get a refractometer. So you can buy one. There's some inexpensive ones on Amazon and other places, and from scientific supply companies. And if you want to be really technical and be on top of your ratio, that's the only way that you're going to get that exact mix. But talking to the reps over at SterlingCool, talking to the reps about SterlingCool, the product is really forgiving and user-friendly as far as that goes. So you don't have to be on that 20-to-1 perfect ratio for the product to work like it's supposed to. So what they recommend is that you take a 5-gallon bucket, you put 16 ounces of the SterlingCool in that 5-gallon bucket with 5 gallons of water. That mix, now you're going to take in, you keep that set off to the side, and when you're using your table periodically, you're going to fill water. Just leave that pail sit there. After you add water for about the 4th time, so if you're adding water every day, okay, you have a high usage, something like that, the 4th time you add water, take that 5-gallon pail with the 16 ounces of SterlingCool in it, pour that in. That's going to bring you back up to where you need to be. So the other option for you to take in, if you want to, you're more scientific and you want to be on that edge, that little water measuring meter that I got over there, you can leave that on your hose that you're taking and using to fill your table. So every time you're going to fill the table, you put that on. It tells you how many gallons you put in. You can add the corresponding amount of SterlingCool to match that up. That's another option for you to take and keep on that ratio. But talking to the reps about the SterlingCool, it's really not that important to be on that edge like it is with some of these other products. It's more forgiving, it's user friendly. So the maintenance on here and keeping up with it is a lot easier than the other products, and so you don't have to worry about that as much as you did with something else. Okay, so one more kind of point on that line of thought there is, how does the SterlingCool leave your table? There's only really a couple ways it's going to leave your table. It's not going to leave your table through the evaporation. It's going to stay in your table, the water's going to evaporate, SterlingCool gets left behind. So that's why when we're adding, we're not so concerned about adding a lot of SterlingCool, because it's staying, the water is the component that's evaporating. One of the ways it's going to leave your table is splash out. So when you're cutting near the edge, the perimeter of the table with whatever you're doing, that splash out, that's where you're going to lose some. The other place that you're going to lose it is in carry-off. But the chemists have designed this product so that it has a low carry-off rate. So that's critical in a lot of the chemicals that this company designs, is they don't want their product to be leaving all the time, so you have to replace it. So they formulate in a low carry-off rate. So when you pull your piece off here, you take it with you, a little bit of the product's going to leave, but not a whole lot. So it's not going to be a really high factor. You're more likely to have more loss and splash, and that's going to kind of depend on your table design and what you have going on there. So I think SterlingCool is the best option out on the market right now. I am super happy I found it. It's going to be way more cost effective for our operation and bring down the cost per part that we're using. It's really easy to get, made in the USA. They're shipping out of Ohio. It's always in stock. Don't have to worry about the shipping and other drags. A lot of times they can get it to you in just a couple days, depending on where you are in the country. So super fast turnaround. Their customer support is awesome for calling in, talking technical questions. Like I said, I talked their ear off, getting all the specifics, and wanted to make sure that this was going to be my perfect solution and a replacement for the last product I was using, and they hit every point. This thing the SterlingCool has it all, and it's going to be great for our operation here at Desert Fabworks. So if you guys have any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. I'll do your best to answer it. I'll take and put the links below to all the different, to the SterlingCool itself, to CNC Plasma info.com, and also for the different components that we used here today. Thank you for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe so you can see our other videos coming up. Thank you.